Yeah. Hi everyone. Today we are going to start we are going to learn expression transformation. Okay. So let's start this expression transformation. So this is basically the it is a passive transformation and connected transformation. Okay. So it is passive. So what is the definition of passive? So it won't change the number of records. It won't change the boundaries, transaction boundary. It won't change the row type, right? So that is the purpose. That is called passive transformation. So here also, like it won't change. Expression is basically at row level. Okay, row wise calculations. It won't. It won't do any aggregate calculations. అంటే group calculations ఏమీ చేయదు. It only does row level calculations. Okay na? Yeah, and it must be connected to another transformation. Okay, so I'll show you. Okay, in yesterday's scenario also, it was like connected. Source qualifier was connected transformation, right? Okay, expression transformation is used for row level or non-aggregate calculations. Okay. Let's move on. We will know more about in the practical session also. Yeah, first let's try to understand. So this is how we place the expression transformation here. Okay, so we have source qualifier. So this is in iconic mode. Okay, so these are icons. If you want, we can expand also the C and C. So SQ means source qualifier. So likewise, f of x means that is expression transformation. Okay, and this is the target. So we are doing some calculations at row level. Okay, to calculate values in a single row, to test conditional statements before passing the test results to a target or other transformation. So this is how we check expression transformation. Okay. Okay. So if we see the transformation in more detail, the tabs and all. So transformation, expression transformation, it contains 4 tabs. As I mentioned, metadata extensions we are not worried about. So we concentrate on transformation, ports, and properties. Transformation. So here we can give the name. Okay, if you want to rename also, we can rename it. Transformation type. So it is expression, and description we can give some any description. Okay, so it's all about what this expression is for. So we can just write the description here. So next one is ports. So in the port section, same like the port name, data type, precision scale, everything we can give. Okay. And exclusively this input port, output port. So if something, let's say employee ID is not an input port, we don't want to connect employee ID, we can remove this input one. We can uncheck this. So it can be an output port or variable port also. Variable means for calculation purposes. Okay. So if I ask you something, multiply 136 into 82, what you will do? You have to calculate it, right? You have to calculate it at some point. Either you have to take a pen and paper and do calculation, or you can take a calculator and do something, or you can just at least in your mind you need to calculate. So you are doing the calculation at a separate place, that is called a variable. So within a variable, this is like in the memory. Okay, in the memory. So this will be stored. The first those two values will be stored and those will be calculated. Similarly, for any calculation purpose, for any conditional checks, we use variables. And the result, we can take it forward to the next transformation. Okay. So, we have input port, output port, variable port, and expression. So, expression is enabled only for output or variable ports only. So, we have expression. Okay. So, variable ports, we can write expression. For output, only output ports, we can write expression. If it is in and out port, we cannot write expression. Or if it is only input port, we cannot write expression. Okay. And a port can be in and out. Okay. Or it can be only in, only out, only variable. And yeah, it can be, we can keep it as only input, only output, or only variable port. Or in and out we can give at a time, because that is coming in and it is going as is without any changes to the output. Okay. And it can be, if you select a variable, this in and out will go. Okay. It can be, it should be only variable. It cannot be variable and input. Okay. Okay. And here, if you observe, there is one thing called default value. So if you want, you can mention, for example, employee ID. If nothing is coming from source, I can give default value as 000, let's say. Okay. I can give any value, default value. If nothing is coming from source, I can give default. So we can write the description, why this value. Okay. So that is about ports tab. Next, we have properties tab. So in the properties, we have, as I mentioned yesterday, tracing level. So tracing level can be, it is of 4 types: terse, verbose initialize, terse, normal, verbose initialization, and verbose data. Okay, I will show you this today. So configure the tracing level to determine the amount of transaction detail reported in the session log. Okay. I mean, if you want more details, like what data is flowing through it, flowing through this transformation, then you can enable this. If normal means it will only it will only show some values. Okay, some properties will be displayed there. Okay, if it is verbose initialization, it will show some more information. If it is verbose data, what data is coming in, what data is going out, so everything will be shown in the session log. Okay, we will see. Okay, we will see how it works. So we will see with an example. So expression transformation is very simple transformation, and we use it very frequently. Okay, we use it very frequently, and we will see with an example. Okay, let's create one source table with 3 columns: ID, name, and date of birth. And we will do some calculations using expression. Okay, we have functions within the expression. So using those functions, we will do some calculations. Okay, so we will do this upper. Upper is one function to convert the text to uppercase. Length. So if you want to find out the length of something, some text. So if I ask you what is the length of your name, means if I can calculate SASI, 4 characters. So similarly, we can do that length finding we can do. Next, substring. So if you want to find part of a string, part of some text, we can find the substring. To date. So we can convert value, I mean, incoming value to date format. Okay, to decimal. So we can convert into decimal format. And we have if. Okay, if. This is what we need to write. if. So this is the if. So it's a conditional output. Okay, so we will see all these things. Okay, let's open up Informatica. So as a first step before opening, so what we need to do, we have to check the services. Okay, just see the services are up and running. First, let's see Oracle. So Oracle services are running automatically. Now, just we need to check Informatica. So Informatica is not running. So what we will do, just start and leave it for 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. So just we will refresh it and check. Just give it some time. Now, okay. Every time there is no need to open with repository manager only. See, I want to directly open designer. So yeah, it will come up directly. Yeah, and one more thing. Here either you can go to this one or you have this most recently opened, right? So here also you can click. Let's say I was using batch one folder, right, yesterday. So I can directly click on this one. Okay. Hope you see this. Okay. So since the services are up almost, so it is directly asking for username and password. So I can give ADMIN and connect. So better if we wait for 2 to 3 minutes also. So sometimes it will take some time to up the services. So let's try in just 15-20 seconds. We will wait and we can ADMIN. Yeah, so it is open. Okay, so generally it will take some time to make the services up. Okay, so that's why sometimes you face this fail to connect the repository. Okay, now see, it is showing yesterday's mapping, right? It is showing yesterday's mapping. Now we are going to see the next one. Okay, we are going to create the next what is that mapping. Okay, so for that mapping, what all things we require? Okay, so for expression transformation, as I shown it to you, I need one source table, I need one target table. So let's go and create the source and target tables. Okay, so we will create source and target tables first. So I am showing it to you from scratch. I mean, how to like open the report. I mean, the designer, the SQL developer, all these things I am showing it to you, right? So that if you are facing initial things, initial issues, you can see and learn. Okay. So for Shivaji was asking, okay, sir, I don't see the target. Yeah, obviously, because see, if you open a system like this and you open tables like this, obviously you cannot see the connection. You have to scroll down and see there is a target here, right? So if you close all the connections, you are able to see the connections, all the connections. Okay. Okay. Now, so I don't want this system. I am just removing it. Okay. I want to connect to the source. Okay. Connect. And I want close this. This is not required. So I want to connect to the target. Yeah, connected. Source and target. So source. So I'm taking these scripts. See, always remember. Okay, I'm creating a table. Yes, I am creating one source table. Okay, table is created. Now, I want to insert the data. right? I am inserting 3 records. You can either insert one by one, select one by one and click on run, or you can select everything, all the inserts, and you can run. And one important thing is, so all these will be inserted. You have to close every statement with a semicolon. Then only you are able to run altogether. So if you close with a semicolon, it will consider this is one statement, this is the second statement, and this is the third statement. But you can select all the 3 at a time and click on run or control enter on your keyboard. And very important thing is, when you do a DML operation, you have to commit. Okay, you have to commit. This you should know. Okay, you have to commit. Or if you want, you have tools and preferences for auto commit. Whenever you execute one DML statement, it will auto commit. If you want that, you can go to tools, preferences, database. Okay, within the database, you can go to advanced. Here you have an option called auto commit. So if you want, you can enable this. That means by mistake, if you forget committing, it will auto commit. Okay, after every DML statement, it will auto commit. Okay, this property, if you want, you can enable. But since we are in learning mode, what I can say, we can exclusively commit. Okay, so if you want, you can enable this. How to do this? Let me show you again. In your SQL developer, go to tools, preferences, and go to database. Okay, this is the database, right? Here, just expand this, and in the advanced, you have an option called auto commit. So if you enable this, it will automatically commit after every DML statement. Okay, so that is one thing. And you can see my font is a higher font, right? Here you are able to see clearly. If you want that, here code editor, and yeah, and one more thing, code editor, here fonts. So I have kept the font as maximum 24, and also you can see the number here. Okay, sidewise. I'll show you that as well. So display, once again, line gutter. Yeah, line gutter. So in the code editor, so this is code editor, right? So how we want to show the code. So here observe carefully, we don't have line numbers. So show line numbers. Okay, if you say okay, you will see line numbers. Why we need these line numbers, I will tell you. I mean, let's say I haven't given this one, for example, and I'm trying to insert. Okay, so it will show line number 8. Okay, error at command line 8, column 24. So to see in which line, you may keep on writing so many lines, right? Here only 10 lines, so you can count 1, 2, 3, and you can see. But it is always helpful if you have these line numbers. So how to open that line numbers? Go to tools, preferences. Since we are looking for code editor, right? So this is the code editor. So code editor, just go to the code editor, expand code editor. Here line gutter. So in the line gutter, show line numbers, you have to tick this. Okay. Okay. So that way you can identify if there is any issue. Okay. Now if I run, it will insert the data. Since I already inserted, I am not inserting the data again. So I hope we already committed this. Okay, so commit to complete. Okay, so we have created the source table. We have inserted 3 records and we have committed it. Done. Now let's go to the target. So I want to create a target table. Okay, let me create the target table. So the idea is we want a table. So I'm not going to write all these SQL scripts here newly because we all know how to create a table. Okay. Here, if you observe, I have different columns like here 10 minus 1 means 9 columns I have. So ID, name, varchar, and these are also varchars means text. To date means I am giving this data type as date, and this is number, this is again varchar. Okay. So I am creating one table with different columns and sizes also. I'm giving by default 30 for everything. Okay. So this is for just to show the one example on expression. Okay, I have created this table and I am not inserting the data because we will insert the data using Informatica mapping. Okay, so nothing is there here. And if you check the data here, select star from, what is the table name? S underscore express. So it doesn't mean you can give small also, S express. It's not case sensitive. So if you have gone through the SQL basics, these SQL statements are not case sensitive. Either you can do it as a small case or proper case or uppercase. Anything will work. Okay. But these within the codes, whatever the values we are giving, those should be as is. If you give capital S and remaining everything is small case, it will read in that format only. Except these, everything else we can is not a case sensitive. Case sensitive means either small case or uppercase. We have to follow the same. Okay. Yeah. So we have created source, we have created target. Okay. Now let's go and import the source and target. Okay. How to import a source? First, I have to go to source analyzer. Okay, yesterday we imported these two things, right? So if you want, we can clear it up. Otherwise, not an issue. We can keep them aside. Now I want to import a table from database. So just go to sources. First thing, when that sources will be enabled, if I click on source analyzer, then only the source is enabled. If you are in mapping, you won't see source here, right? So if you go to source analyzer, sources will be enabled. So go to sources, import from database. I mean, you have to, by default, it will come the same DSN. My source is source, owner is source, password is ADMIN, admin I have kept. Okay, let me re-enter ADMIN. Okay, connect. So which table is my source now? S express means expression. We are learning on expression. So I kept the table name as S express. Okay. So the table is imported. Similarly, I go to this target analyzer, the side one. So target analyzer, then only this targets will come. Just click on that. Import from database. So I am giving target is my username. And I am giving the password as ADMIN. Okay. Connect. T express. Okay. So I have this table imported. Okay. Now I am going to mapping designer to create a mapping. So go to mappings, create. Here I can give M underscore expression. Just to avoid some confusion, whatever transformation we are going to explain, we will be giving the same name. So if you want, you can give any name. Okay. So I'm giving expression. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to select the source. Okay. Select the source, drag and drop like this. Just click on this, drag and drop. That's it. It will come. Next, target. Target I want, right? So this is my target, T Express. Okay, just select, drag and drop here. It will come. Done. So source and target dragging is completed. Just we will arrange like this. Now we want to learn how expression works. So we want to create expression. There are different ways of creating. So whatever way, it will create the same. Okay. Either you go to transformations, create. And you have to select the transformation. There are these many transformations are there. Okay. So expression. So we are going to create expression. So expression prefix is exp. Okay. This is just a naming convention. If you don't give exp, what will happen? Nothing will happen. I can give some random name, ABC. It will get created. But since we need to follow some standards, exp expression. Okay. I'm just giving the same thing. Create and done. So this will be created here. This is one way of creating. And I was mentioning there is a quick access toolbar to create this one, right? So if you see here, this is the toolbar. So here there are a lot of things are there, icons. So here there is one f of x. There is a p of x also. Don't confuse. It's a f of x. If you hover the mouse, it will show you expression transformation. Simply you need to click on that. Once you move the mouse here, the mouse, the symbol will be moved to plus symbol. Just left click and drag like this. That's it. It will be done. Okay. So it won't ask for any name, nothing. If you want, you can rename it. If you want something like exp underscore test. Okay. So like that we can do. So it is asking there is no input port, no output port. Please select. I said okay. Okay. Since I already have one, I don't want this. I'm just deleting. Just press delete key on your keyboard. It will be deleted. It will ask for confirmation. Click on S. Okay. So this is the expression transformation. Now, what we are going to do? So we have a lot of things. I already created how we want to move the data. So uppercase, length, substring, 2 decimal, if condition. So all these things we want to see how they work, right? So for that purpose, firstly, ID, name, date of birth. ID, name, date of birth. This will be as is. So either you can click on one, right click, select all. That way also you can select everything. Or if you want only a particular things, like you can select ID. If you want date of birth, click on control on your keyboard, select DOB. Like this also you can select. Okay. Okay. If I want only name and date of birth, so you can select like this. You can click on your control, keyboard control button. So here you can select like this. Or if you want everything, just click on anything and say right click, select all. Okay. Click on anything, right click, select all. And you simply click left click. Okay, one second. Yeah, here it is there, right? On this, if you click, it will come like this. It should come like this. Okay. Okay. Just do select all, right click, select all, click on this one. Okay. This way. And drag and drop. This will come automatically. Now, since I'm not doing any calculations here, I want to pass it on as is. So I selected again, I pass it on. So since I know ID, name, date of birth are in the same sequence, I selected all at a time and dragged and dropped on the first one. Okay. If you do, you selected all, but drag and drop you did from date of birth. It will go like this. ID is mapped to date of birth, name is mapped to upper length, and date of birth is mapped to length. So this is incorrect, right? So we have to check all these things. So if you want, you can do one by one also. ID to ID, name to name, date of birth to date of birth. So like this also you can do. Now we are going to see how these things will work. Okay. So let me show you. I'm expanding, opening the expression. Okay. So if you want, you can increase the size also by dragging this corner one. So like this, you can drag and drop. Okay, drag. Now, if you see, the first one is expression. So this is the expression. If you make this reusable, what do you mean by reusable? Okay, I have this expression in this mapping. I want to use the same calculations in another mapping. So we can make reusable instead of creating the same expression multiple times. Okay, in this mapping, next mapping also I'll go and create. No need. Okay, right? So what I can do, so in the whatever you develop under this transformation developer is reusable transformation. Since we are creating the transformation under a mapping, this is called local expression, local to this mapping only. It is not global transformation. So global means reusable. So if you want reusable, either you can come to transformation developer and create. Okay. Otherwise, if you already created a transformation within the mapping, just open this, and if you want, you can make reusable. So converting the current transformation into a reusable transformation is not reversible. Okay. So if you want, you can continue. I don't want, so I am not making it. So once you make it as reusable, you cannot bring it back to non-reusable. Okay. Okay. Hope you understand what is reusable. Now, here you can rename it. In the transformation tab, you can rename it. Secondly, you can write some description. Converting, doing few calculations to check the functionality of expression. So, I'm trying to show you how the functionality works, right? So I'm just writing that. So in your project, whatever the functionality of this expression, for what purpose you are using this expression, you can write down here. So that even the next person, let's say Shivaji developed this mapping. So Madhav Reddy want to know full details about this mapping. Then he can simply open this expression and see, okay, what is the description? Anyway, this is optional. So there is no compulsion to write the description, but if you write, it is well and good. It's like comment section. Okay. So this is all about transformation tab. Next, go to ports tab. So we have ports. So if you want to create a new port, just come here, add new port to this transformation. Okay. Why it is creating here? Okay. If I select this, okay. If I selected data birth and create, simple thing is wherever you put your you select something and create new, below to that it will create a new port. By default, these ports will be created with input. So this is the input port, this is the output port. Okay, this is coming in to this transformation and it is also going out of this transformation. Okay. Right. Since I have created many and okay, I want these things below. Okay. So either you can select by clicking control and select like this, and move up and down. Okay. Since I want to position this below, okay, like this. So ID name, date of birth on the top, and whatever the new ports I am creating, that should come below. So we can do move up and down also using these arrows. Next, there is a cut button, delete. So if you want to delete, just select this, click on this, and whichever you want, you can cut it. So that will be deleted. And if you want to copy, okay, I want to copy data birth. So copy a port, and if you again click on paste, it will keep on pasting. Okay. So you can do like that also. So hope you learned about these icons, what they will do. Now, port name. Since I want different port names, what are the port names? Okay, let's see here itself. ID, name, date of birth is there. Next, upper. I want to create one upper. So since it's a keyword, I'm just putting this one. Otherwise, this is also fine. Next one is length. LENGTH. So, okay, any name you can give. I'm just giving the same names here. Substring, yes, sub str. Next, to date. What I'm doing, I'm renaming the ports. To date. Next, to decimal. To decimal. Okay. Next is the if condition. Okay. So I renamed all the ports here. Now, okay, we need to, all these are not coming from source. Only coming from source table is ID, name, and date of birth only. Remaining everything else, we are calculating and passing the value to the target. So since these are not coming from source, these are not input ports. So here, if you see, if this triangle symbol, if you see, that means input port is enabled and output port is enabled. Let's say, I'll say apply first and okay. See here, here you are able to connect like this. Okay. If it is input port, you are able to connect. Now, I don't want this as an input port. So what I want to make, from upper to remaining everything, these are not input ports. See, one more thing, if you observe this expression. See, for if it is in and out, expression is grayed out. You cannot change anything. Whereas for upper, you can make a change like this. Expression is enabled only if it is not in input port. If it is not input port, then only expression will be enabled. Okay. So apply okay. See here now, here you don't see anything like the triangle symbol here, arrow. Okay. If I want to connect something here, it will create a new port. It will create a new port, but it won't connect to the existing port. Okay. So I'm deleting this. Okay. Now, let's go and calculate each and everything now. So upper. Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to learn here? Okay. Variable means you can either put variable also. Okay. So if you select variable, let's say I want to select date of birth as variable. If I go and select, this in out will go away. And if I deselect, it will select only output port. So that time again I need to reselect this. Okay. Okay. So if let's go and calculate. So these are all output ports. Okay. First we will calculate the upper. Okay. So in the expression, there are a lot of functions. So if you see, this is all functions, means everything will be there. Or if you want the functions in a category wise, I mean, whatever the functions under all functions, these are kept under different categories like character. Same thing. If, for example, if you see char, okay, or concat, So this concat will be there again in the character section. Okay. So section wise, they divided again. So if you don't know in which section that is, you can simply go to all functions and check. Okay. So okay. Since we are yeah, it's better in the starting. You can go and check here only. So there are a lot of functions. You can do test. You can also create your own functions, user defined functions. Okay, if you want, you can create using all these functions. You can create your own function and you can utilize that. Since we haven't created any function, it is not showing up. There is no plus symbol like for all other things. There is a plus, right? We can expand. But here, there is no such symbol because we haven't created user defined function. Okay, next, variables. So there are predefined variables. This we will see, okay, in the next sessions. So first we will calculate the uppercase. So if you just select anything and click on U, it will go to U section. Okay, upper. Just double click or drag and drop. Okay, double click. It will come here. Okay. So this is all about functions tab. Next, ports. So whatever the ports we have. Okay. From expression, these are the ports. We can apply calculations. Or this is also, it is showing everything. Okay. Ports. Let's say I want to calculate upper. I want to convert into uppercase. So in ID is a number, date of birth is also number. So there is no, for numbers, there is no lowercase uppercase, right? Only for name we have lowercase uppercase. So for testing, I'm selecting the name. So upper, open bracket, name, closing bracket. So once you write any function, you can click on validate. Whether whatever you have written is correct or not, you can click on validate. It will show expression passed successfully. I mean, if you have written something else here, some junk thing. I mean, you did a mistake, and you go and click on validate. What it will show? PM parse error, syntax error. So this is incorrect. So you have to come and correct it. Validate. It is validated. Yeah. Okay. So there is one more option for few functions. If you want to test, okay. Port is this, type is this, value is something like ABC. In small case, I am giving just for testing. Okay, you have to refresh it. Once you validate, refresh it, it will show you this evaluation. Okay, so you can evaluate. So if you pass ABC value, it is converting into uppercase. Even if I change something like A capital B and small c, if you evaluate, still it will change. Okay, let me change this. Okay, D, E, F. Okay, D capital E, F in some different formats. If I convert, it will convert into properly into uppercase, So that is a function of uppercase. So here we can just evaluate only for few functions, text functions only, date functions and all, it won't evaluate. Okay. Okay. So I have given the expression for upper. So now I am going to, since we have given the port names similar to the functions, it is coming like this. If I give something like this, it will change the color, right? Since length is a keyword, it is showing in this blue color. Okay, length is the keyword. If you go to L, so length is the keyword. Either it is in uppercase or simply smaller case, it is the same. Okay. Even if you give in smaller case also, it will work. Case doesn't matter. Okay. Uppercase or smaller. Now, I want to calculate the length of something. Which one? Just go to ports again. I want to calculate the length of name again. What is your, name length? So I want to calculate. So there is one more tab called variables. There are some built-in variables. So many things are there. We will see. There are some operators also. We will see that later. But first, let's calculate these things. Okay. So that's it. Once you select this, you can validate. Okay. So if you want to test this, you can do that. Okay. Let's see. If I give something, some junk data. So evaluate. So how many characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 characters. So that way. So this is not compulsory. You need to evaluate and check. This is for testing whether the function is showing correctly or not. Just, I mean, this is a very simple function. Sometimes we write so many big functions just to check whether it is working as per our requirement. In that case, you can just test here. Okay. Okay. So second one is also that. Third is substring. Okay, substring. So all functions you can go substring sub. Yeah. And how do I know? Okay, there are some functions. Okay, substring I selected. How do I know what all things should be given? It's not always okay. Just go to this and I want to find substring. Done. No. Here, along with this, we have to give some inputs. This function needs some inputs. First one is some one field. Next, from which character to which character you want to find the substring. Substring means within a string, within the name, subname means part of the name, right? So for that, if you want to know how this, I mean, what all inputs you need to give to this function, here you see down, it will give you the syntax. Okay, if I want something like round x, it will give the syntax here. Substring, it will give the syntax. Okay, suppose previous case, upper means it is asking only the character field we have given. Length, where is length? Yeah, length. It same character as expression we have given that. I mean single way. So we have given done. But whereas substring, it is asking different inputs. So whenever you see this square brackets, that is optional. Okay, that is optional. If you ignore this, it will take the default value. Okay. Okay. So what is the substring function? First, we need to provide a character. So name is a character symbol. I mean character or string. M as numeric. Numeric value we have to give. We cannot give A. We have to give a number. Okay, let's say 4, like that number. N is also a numeric. Okay, what is this N? Okay, let's say I give 3. But what is this 4? What is this 3? So there is explanation here. Returns n characters of char. N characters of this char. Char means this char. Okay. N characters beginning at M. Okay. M is the beginning. From which character? Okay. Let's say I will take something like A, B, C, D, F, G, H. Okay. Let's say I am giving 4, means from 4th character, A, B, C, D. From D onwards, 3 characters, means D, E, F, G. It will return D, E, F, G. The result of this one will be D, E, F, G. But, okay, that is up to us. Okay, I want to return it from the first to which length? 4 characters, let's say. A from first character means A, B, C, D. Okay. So I will get from this string, I will get A, B, C, D as my value. If I pass, okay. Okay, let's check that also. Validated, refresh, and I'm giving A, B, C, D. Evaluate. So A, B, C, D. If I give something like 2 to 4, 2 from second to 4 characters. It's not like second character to 4th character. No. From second character next to four values. Okay. So if I give, what will be the output? Can anybody tell what will be the output of this? So what it will give? Substring of name from 2 to 4.
Of CDF. CD.
No, second character is B, right?
BCD.
Yes, sir.
B,
Yes, sir.
C, D. I mean, it will give 4 characters. This is the number of characters. If you see, number of characters. It's not the position. Second is the position. 4 means number of characters. Okay. From second. From B, number of characters will be B, C, D, E. 4 characters. Okay. It's done. Okay. Let me paste it again. B, C, D, E. Okay. You got the point, right? So this is how substring works. If I give 3 to 4, now tell me what will be the output? 3 to 4. Means,
CD.
from third character, it will start from third character. Next 4 characters. So C, D, E, F. 4 characters, right? We want. Okay. So, oh, come on. Let's evaluate. We have to evaluate, not refresh, evaluate. We have given already. So C, D, E, F. Okay. Now let me change this one. 2. Now tell me what will be the output? From third character, 2 characters.
CD.
C, D. Yes. 1 second. Okay. Let me refresh again. Okay. Since we changed the function, it is asking for refreshing. So I refreshed, I gave the value again. So CD is the output. Okay. So that is how substring works. Why I am showing you this much means it's not always just the function and the input value. There are so many input values we need to provide based on the function. Okay. Like, for example, next we will see to date, all these things, right? That time also we will see. Okay. So I have given the expression to this. Now to date. Okay. To date. To date is also it's a function. So if you want, you can go to direct date functions. This is related to dates, right? So you can go to date, or you can also check in the all functions. You can see everything. But if you want to go to a particular section, so you can go and check. Okay, what is that? What is that? Okay, so add to date or all there. Okay, so it should be there in the conversion section. Okay, conversion. We are converting to something, right? So to date. Same thing. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm selecting everything wherever I want. I'm just double clicking on this. So that will replace this. Okay. What is to date? We have to first provide the character and which format you want to convert into which format. Okay. Okay. I want a date of birth. The DOB, I know DOB contains the date of birth, I mean the date formats. So let me show you. Let me drag this up. Okay. So here, ID is not a date format. Ravi is not a date. Here it is a date. 2020 08 August 03 is the date. So in which format it is? First year, next month, next is the date. Okay. Generally, we follow this format. What is that? YYYY MMDD. So this is the format it is showing. So we have to convert in that format. Okay, first I have given date of birth. Next I am giving the format within the quotes in the string format. It should be a string. If you observe here, format as character. So character means like this. I have to give. Okay, in the character format. So validate. What it is showing, incompatible data types, field is n string, expression. Yeah. See here, this is one more thing we need to observe. Okay, we are doing calculations, everything, but okay, I am saying okay. Still, you can say okay. Yes, continue. See here, we are converting the something into the date. So the result set should be stored in a date data type only, correct? But whatever holding this to date is the column name, I mean field name, but the data type is not a date, it is showing string. So that's why we have to select date as our data type. So similarly, decimal also, since it's a decimal, you can select decimal. If condition, no need to worry, but we will give 30 here length, just like others. Okay, you got the point, right? So you are converting something into date, but the output port data type is not a date, then it will throw an error. So it should be of same data type. Okay, now if I validate, it will expression passed successfully. Okay, this should be done like this. Now go to decimal. Okay, I want to convert something into decimal. See here, if you observe in the source, we have created everything in a string format. So that's why I'm converting date. See, if it's already date of birth is already a date, you cannot convert again as a date. If it is a string, then it will allow you to convert to a date. Okay. Now, ID is, see, ID contains all numbers, but we have given it as a varchar. Still, it will store as a text. Now, 100 means it's a text. We want to convert and store it as a decimal. Okay, let's go and change that. Okay, two decimal. Which one we want to convert? ID. Okay. Okay. Even you can convert this one also, not an issue. So this all contains numbers, right? You can convert. I'm taking ID as an example. The expression passed successfully because we have already given this as a decimal. Now, okay. So here, if you see in all functions, two decimals, how is this? Two decimal. Since it's a conversion function, you can also check in the under conversions also. Conversion also, there is a two decimal. So expression we have to give and SC as integer. SC as integer means SC means scale. If you want to give any scale, you can give. Let's say I have scale means, for example, I have input value as 100, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 characters. This is the scale. This is the whole length, whereas this is called the scale. If I mention the scale here as ID comma 2, then it will consider only these 2 characters after this dot. So while doing so, it will round it off. It will round it off. Since after this, you know how the round off works. If it is greater than 5, it will round off. 5 and greater than 5, it will round off. Let's say I have it here, it has 84. It will round off this to 100.13 like that. Okay. So round off will happen. So if you don't want anything, just convert into decimal, everything. Yeah, it will work. So validate. Yes. Next, if condition. I want to check the if condition. Okay. All functions, if you want test. Okay. Sorry, not test. It's yeah, I mean, we can check here directly. We can go to I. Okay. Conditional conditions. Okay. So if you give here, simply you can double click, it will come. What condition? First, we need to give the condition. Okay. What is the condition? Okay. I want to take name. Okay. Name, if it is containing any space, or if the length of the name is greater than 4 characters. Okay, let's see. Let's okay, here 4 characters. Okay. Okay. So if name is containing more than 4 characters, then we will write the output. Okay. So for that, what we need to do? In the if we can write any other functions also. Okay. So what I want to calculate, length of name is greater than 4. So what does length return? Length will return the number of characters. If the number of characters are greater than 4, so this is my condition. Okay, what it is doing, if the length is greater than 4, return value, what it has to return. If this is true, I can write anything more than 4 chars, more than 4 char. So this should be a string. Okay, I'm writing string. Or if you want to perform any other calculations, you can start another if also here. Okay, now not more than 4 char. Okay, so what I'm just simple check. Okay, if name containing more than 4 characters, I'm returning more than 4 char as output, or not more than 4 characters. Okay, validate. Okay, so this is successful. Okay, apply. Okay, done. Everything is set. And all these are output ports. So since everything is in the same order, I'm just click on this. If you want to select one by one, click on control and you can select. But if you want to select in the same order, if you want to select everything, select the first one, click on shift, select the last one. Okay, click on the first one, shift, click on the last one. It will select. Now here, from here, just select, drag and drop here. So that since upper, all these are in the same order, I am doing this way. But if they are not in the order, you have to map one by one. Okay, done. So if you want, okay, this is like this somewhere, this is like this is somewhere. There is a free hand, right? It can go like this. Okay, and this is expanded. So all these things you can arrange. So instead of manually arranging, you can right click on this space and you can say arrange all. It will come into the same format. So it's like a drill. Attention means it will come everything in the line. Okay. Also, there is another option, arrange all iconic. So it will arrange in the iconic format. SQ, source qualifier, f of x and all. Okay. So I am arranging all. Okay. So you can simply control S for saving, or you can, so I prefer every time once you do some changes, you do control S so that your changes will be saved. Okay. So this is the main part is done. Now we are going to create the workflow for this. Okay. Mapping, generate workflow. Next. So source qualifier is, source is source correct. Target, we will select the target connection. Done. Next. Yeah, this is also fine. Next. Generated successfully. Finish. So we generated. See, I am showing you initially how to generate using this generate workflow option. Going forward, we will also create the sessions directly in the workflow manager. Okay. Okay, fine. It is generated. Now I want to open the workflow manager. Instead of going to workflow manager and clicking, here itself you can click. In the designer, we have some options called workflow manager. Just click on that. Okay. And if you have already opened workflow manager, you have to refresh because workflow generated should reflect it here. So you have to disconnect and connect. Okay. Since we opened this after generating the workflow, it will come automatically. Okay, here it shows qualifier. Now I want to open the expression. Just either you can drag and drop like this, or you can right click and open. I prefer right click and open because let's say in the expression, if you try to drag and drop this like this, it will come into the expression. So what I prefer is if you want to open anything, right click and open. Okay, sorry. Since you opened this workload designer, if you select this and open, this will come like this. Okay, fine. expression is there. So we right click and open, expression is there. Now, okay. So we will just cross check everything. Okay, this is my source. Yeah. Once you open any session, you have many tabs: general tab, properties, configuration tab, mapping tag, components, metadata action. As I mentioned, we can ignore it. Components also, we have so many things we will explain later. Once you come to the mapping at the mapping level, so source, the source connection is correct. The target connection is also correct. Here, generally we go for target load type as normal. So there is a difference of normal and bulk. Bulk means it won't, we cannot retrieve the data. I mean, we cannot recover. Normal means there is an option of recovery. Okay. So insert and update as update. We can discuss more on this. Expressions are there. Tracing level normal. So everything is there. And one more thing also we can keep if you want, truncate target table option. If needed, we can keep. Otherwise, I'll tell you why we need that. Okay. So apply and okay. So we just changed bulk to normal. Even if you don't change also not an issue. But generally we go in normal mode. Okay. So we, after doing any changes, save it, right click and start workflow. So this is succeeded. To see the properties, just click on here and expand like this. We don't want this, so I'm closing this here. Okay, if I want to see the properties, I can see the properties. Wherever you click, if you click on workflow, it will show workflow properties. If you click on session, it will show session properties. Just double click. Okay, double click, it will show these properties. There are 3 records in the source. Target also 3 records came, right? In the source, we have 3 records, 1, 2, 3, 3 records. In the target also, it loaded. It is showing it is loaded 3 records. Let's see now. Earlier, there was no data, right? Let's go and see the data. Yeah. Now we have all the data. Let's see whether it is working properly. Ravi. So Ravi is in normal case. So now it is everything converted into uppercase. Length. Ravi's length is 4. This is including space. It is 9 characters. Including space, it is 8 characters. Substring. So substring, what we have taken? We have taken something else, right? It's not straight away. So here, if you see 3 characters to 2 characters, that's why it is showing. Okay. So what is the third character here? 1, 2, 3. 3 characters to 2 characters. So like this. Next is third character is I, 2 characters, IV. So it's all showing I's and V's only, right? Here. This is strange. Okay. So I mean, we have selected that way. So Ali Khan. So third character to 2 characters means space, including space. So if you want to check there is anything, see here. There is a space here. Including space, it returned 2 characters. Next, date. Since we are converting this date of birth into date format, so to date, it converted into the date format. Okay. Next, decimal. We converted this text format into decimal format. Though we see, I mean, visually we see the same, but actually it is a string and this is a decimal number. Now, if condition we also check, right? If length of name is more than 4 characters, write more than 4 char. Otherwise, write not more than 4 characters. So Ravi is only 4 characters. It is not more than 4 characters. It's not more than, means not 5 characters, 6 characters. It was only 4 characters. So I'm saying not more than 4 characters. Everything else, it's more than 4 characters. So like that, we can write any conditional things we can check there. So these are few functions we have showed. Okay, there are a lot of functions you can go through. Okay, if you open and see, there are a lot of functions. Okay, generally we use only few functions, not everything. We can have concatenate function, we have date difference function, decode. So okay, in further classes we will see while using other transformations, we will also see how we can work on this. But you can go through and work. I will give you a list. You can go and practice them. Okay, if you want to see for example, LTRIM. So you can just see what this LTRM does. Okay, you can go through and check. Okay, this is how the expression transformation works. Any questions here? Any questions from anybody? Okay. So we are trying to cover a few other properties also while covering each transformation. Okay. So if no further questions, I think we can close. Narayana, do you want to say anything?
No, Sushi, I think we are good.
Okay, perfect. Fine then. So you guys can go through this. I will share these things with you. Okay. And in tomorrow's lab, we will cover the two transformations which we discussed tomorrow. So you can start practicing. And tomorrow, if you have any questions, please come up with those questions. We will address those questions tomorrow in the lab. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if no further questions, I think we are good to close for today. And you can attempt the quiz which we are providing, and we will also provide this recording. So please go through this once again and start practicing. And I will also share this table creation and all. You can go through this, create on your own, and you can create the mappings and workflows and test. Okay. And don't stick to only these things. You can create on your own new records you can insert. I mean, new functions you can write. Okay. Instead of okay, try something like instead of length of this, something else. Okay, substring. Instead of substring, you can take something else. Other things also you can try. And doesn't mean okay, since we are taking length as a function, you don't need to write the port name also length. I can give anything. I can give test length, test underscore length. Still it will work, not an issue. Okay, test length I am mapping to length here. I can give any. I mean, there is no dependency between the port name. So these are called ports. Okay, port name, or we can call field, attribute, column coming from source. Okay, anything we can say. So port name in the Informatica. So port names can be anything. You can give some meaningful name. Okay, and function name you can write. Okay, calculation purpose you can write anything. Okay. Keep practicing. I will give you few functions which you need to use. Try with those functions. Okay, you can create additional columns. How to create additional column? You can, right? Using alter command, you can add columns in your table. So like that, you can do some calculations. Okay. Fine. If no further questions, we can close it for the day. And tomorrow we will meet in the lab. So practice this source qualifier and expression. Come back tomorrow. We will close these two transformations in the tomorrow's lab. Okay. Yeah. Thanks everyone.